How we doing, guys? Okay. So there's like a clock up here, and I wasn't sure if it would be going. It is going, but just in case I'm starting a stopwatch, and I'm going to stare down because instead of staring up at the light, I'm just going to look down because I need more pressure, I guess. How are we doing? Yeah, good to be here in America. Just kidding. No, so I'm just gonna get right to it. I know some of you are thinking it, so I'm just gonna go on and say it. I am working on my dad bod. Thank you. No applause. All right, jeez. But my wife is pregnant, so it's justified. So you just withhold your judgment. But you know, we're getting there. You know, I just don't run ever. So anyway, it's good to be here, though. Yeah, my wife and I. So we got married last year. Cheers for marriage. Yeah, this is something good. Someone's seen my act before. No, just kidding. It's good to be here, though. But she is right to cheer for marriage. I think it's very exciting. My wife and I we're newly married, and we're due in August, right? And when this happened, when we found out that we were pregnant, I was like, people are going to judge us. We got to get ahead of this real fast, you know? And so I just was like, you know what? Doesn't matter what people think. You can't please everyone. And the reason I know you can't please everyone is because I was talking to a friend at work, and he's like, hey, do you have a timeline for when you want to have kids? And I was like, yeah, August. My wife is pregnant. And he's like, oh, cool, but like, can you just get married? That's kind of fast. And I was like, I mean, too late now, but I appreciate the support. And then he was, you know, we talked a little longer, and he's like, yeah, just kind of, you know, whatever. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, my wife and I, we're in our 30s now. And he's like, dang, 30, that's kind of late to start, don't you think? I'm like, I mean, it's a little late, you know, I mean, like, you know, thanks for your support. And so that's just how it goes, I guess. But so, you know, I try not to care what other people think. You can't please everyone. And so that's why when he's like, you know, we think we're funny, I think I'm funny, I guess, we'll find out. You know, I feel like I say that, it's easy to say, right? Like, I don't care what people think. But I'm going to tell some stories tonight where you're going to say that maybe I do care what people think because I'm bringing it up here to vent to this room. So I guess there's that. And also I took notes today while I was driving. I was stopped at stoplight, don't worry. For all the... Anyway, so here's the thing. I'm not that great at, I'm new to comedy, right? I'm not that great at like segues and like transitions, right? So speaking of casual racism, no, it's good. I will address the other elephant in the room, which is the part of me that's not covered, and I am sort of like a non-white, non-specific something, and that something is Cambodian, which is very cool. I'm half Asian. My mom is from Cambodia. My dad is not. He is very white. Which, I mean, I think you guys probably see that a lot around here, it looks like. Just reading the room there, all right. Just checking, okay. Because it's like, I can tell people can't tell, you know what I mean? They look and they're like, all right, there's something, but I don't know what that something is. And it's kind of vague just enough. So I usually get like, people are like, oh, do you speak Spanish or whatever? And I don't. I'm just like, I'm working on English. We'll start there, and hopefully we get to another one eventually. And like it comes up a lot in random situations where people will ask, and usually they don't know how to ask, which is always fun because I just play dumb, like, oh, I don't know what you could possibly be getting at, and they're like, well, like why? Well, like, how do you? You know, they don't know what to say. So usually I aim for a joke. Sometimes it catches me off guard. The other day I was talking to a friend, and I mean, I think she walked into this one, but she said, you know, oh, like, what's your ethnic background? And I said, oh, I'm half Asian, right? She said, oh, like, what flavor of Asian are you? And, I mean, you all know, I said hot and spicy, right? It was not like, oh, like, you know, and then yeah, so emphasis on the spicy, I think. You'll see some of that, maybe. Yeah, she was like, she laughed like a lot. You not quite as much as maybe. You guys should have laughed more, honestly. Yeah, there you go. All right, heck yeah. But you know, she was laughing a lot, and I think she should have seen that coming, but she didn't. So it was funny. You know, it comes up a lot. And the other example that I always think of in the hours leading up to right now is I was on a date, and I don't really date a lot right now, which is it's good because I'm married, right? So probably I'd stop doing that. But a couple years ago, I was on a date. And this girl was asking me, and she was asking me like where my parents were from. She was trying to figure it out, but she didn't know how to ask it. She's like, oh, where are your parents? Where would they be from, maybe? And so I told her, oh, my mom's from Cambodia, I'm half Asian. And she's like, oh, cool, is she short? And I was like, what, how, yeah? But like, how dare you, yes, but like, why would you assume such a thing? Yeah, she is, but, and my mom does not think she is short. She's like, no, I'm more than 5'3". And I'm like, I mean, you're like a short 5'3", as opposed to a tall 5'. I guess it's relative, you guys get it. I don't want to say anything about the height of anyone in the room, they're all sitting down, so just, but the point is, my mom is very proud of me because I'm taller than her. The bar is low, but she looks up to me, you know, so. Thanks, hey, got some dad jokes coming. This is, the prep work has begun. Body and mind, guys, here we go. Yeah, appreciate it, thank you. But no, my mom's the best though. She's super supportive, she's not here tonight, but she's super supportive, loves that I'm here. I don't know if she knows that I'm out this late, but she's just good at like everything. She's the best cook. And she'll be like, how hard could that be? Which is the mentality that I have taken on. And usually it has like okay results. Sometimes it doesn't work, or I start a lot of projects that I don't finish, that I don't know what I'm doing right. But she's been super supportive. But the problem is I can't trust her. And the reason I know I can't trust her is because she's my mom. And so she's like, oh, all my kids are the cutest of all the kids ever. I'm like, all right, like every mom says that, dude. Like, we can't all be the cutest all the time. And so I can't trust her to be unbiased. So I have to go to the streets and ask the strangers that I don't know and say, because they'll tell you how it is. Usually it's old people, but sometimes young people too, like 5-year-olds, they'll tell you how it is. And so basically when cute kid, whatever, I feel like I was a really cute kid. And then I like reverse Neville Longbottoms, right? You know what I mean? You guys see that guy? Like I didn't have to, anyway. But the point is, I kind of, at some point you realize, and I see a lot of beautiful faces tonight, so maybe you guys don't know what it's like for some of us. But there comes a point in your life where maybe you realize you can't rely on your Hollywood good looks alone, okay? And you're like, maybe I gotta like work on my personality. And for me, that time came when I was 10, okay? And 10 is a young age to learn some hard truths, right? And so for me, this lady, she told me how it is, okay? So anyway, precursor, right? We're gonna back up. We've practiced this, guys, don't worry. My mom used to cut my hair, which is very cool. All your school friends love that. She did a good job. It did get better as I got older, and then I stopped letting her do it. So if she's better now, I wouldn't even know. But she used to cut my hair, and she usually did a good job. Nothing crazy, And one day she's going to cut my hair, and she had like the electronic or the electric clippers or whatever, right, buzzers. She turns them on, turns it off, and 1 second I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And she's like, which is not a good sound. That's not a good sound to hear from your hairdresser or your mom when she's got electric sharp things on your head, right? And so she kind of pauses for a second. I'm like, okay, here we go. And she says, you have 2 choices. And some of you might be picking it up faster than I did at 10. I'm like, please say mohawk or mullet. Mohawk, let's go mohawk. And that was not my choice. She said, you can have a bald spot or I can shave your head. And I was 10, so obviously this ruined my life. And just like start crying, right? And this is before the days of like cell phones everywhere. Like I'm on camera right now, right? I'm trying not to look at it too much. Don't look it in the eye. But before everyone had cameras, so there's not like a video of me like David after dentist where I'm just like not really lucid. I'm like, what's going on? It's an ugly cry, right? I'm just like crying alone in the bathroom. Maybe you don't know, you weren't there, and there's no camera. The point is, I was so distraught about this thing. So she's shaving my head, and I imagine it's just like that scene in like Les Mis. I'm just like sobbing or something, right? It was very emotionally traumatic. I appreciate you laughing at that part of it. All right. Anyway, so we moved on from that, and the heartwarming part of this story, right? Like the wholesome part, is my dad saw how upset it made me, right? So he's like, "Hey, it's no big deal. I'll shave my head too. Not a big deal. It'll grow back." And I was like, okay. And then my little brother, he's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years younger than me. No one knows how old anyone is anymore. He's in the 90s. It's been a minute. And he's like, oh, Dad and Eldon shave their head. They're cool. I'll shave my head. I'll be cool. And so we all shave our heads. And we're like, not so bad. It'll grow back, right? Joke's on us because strangers are too honest. And so we go to church on Sunday. And we are walking in stride. We're strutting our stuff. We're tall. We're feeling cool. It's like, hot summer day. Just no extra warmth on the head, aerodynamic, we're walking fast, we're feeling good, guys. We go into church, and this old lady she sees me and my dad and my brother, and we're as bald and happy as can be. And she's like, I won't put an end to that right now. She didn't say that in those words, but what she said is, oh, you guys look like the Three Stooges. And like, yeah, I don't know if you guys, I'm not, like, I've seen the Three Stooges, but I Googled it recently, and like, it hurts more now. Like, that was like, oh, dang, dude. I think what she like said that as like, oh, like 3 people. But what I took is like, you're not gonna make it by looks, you gotta go for funny, because like, I mean, you gotta, you know, because they're not like the epitome of like Hollywood good looks and hairstyle. I mean, those guys, that's not their thing, dude. It's like slapping people in black and white or something, I don't know. Never seen it. But the point is, when, from like 10 years old, right, I'm like, I guess I can't rely on looks because, I mean, I don't want to be a Three Stooge, but if that's the option I get, that's the hand I was dealt, we're gonna go for funny. And they say like, if you can't be attractive, go for like talented or funny, right? And so I'll let you be the judge of funny. But for talented, I've been trying to be better at piano, trying to like develop some hobbies and stuff. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the point is, it's a long time coming, but here we are today to say, you know, that lady was right, or maybe in your face, like I made it, and I'm okay and smiling, and I got married, like we did it. That's good. I took some notes. Let's see. I think we're nailing it. Oh, by the way, my dad never shaved his head again, and he's like, dude, every photo's a mugshot. I look like I should be put on a watch list. So he never did it again, and I did for like a couple summers until I cared about girls. I just like no hair, no care, right? But didn't last very long. Anyway, so what I'm excited for, right? Is I got 30 seconds to tell you what I'm excited for. Okay, here we go. For me and all my friends, because I have a lot of attractive friends. I mean, you can see the back row right here, right? We got some attractive friends, guys. So what I'm excited for is when me and all my attractive friends, we all get like older. This is a young audience. I'm looking at everyone. All of you are young. We're going. We're a young audience. When I get really old, right? Because first of all, half Asian genes. I think Asians age slower. I don't know the math on that or the physics. Pretty sure. But so when me and all my attractive friends, right? I'm at the Duff or whatever. Anyway, we all get older, and their looks start to fail them. And their friends are like, I mean, he doesn't really have. He lost what he had, right? But I also have it because I worked on funny personality, talent. So I also have it. And I'll be like, oh, in your face, and then I'll like go play pickleball or something. I don't know. But you know, it's been good. Anyway. My name's Elvin Brooks. That's my time. Thank you so much. Y'all were a lot of fun. Cheers. Woo!